Crypto. If you're looking for a quick and dirty overview of the crypto market, you've come to the right place. My name is Lane, and you're watching Crypto Insight Weekend Edition, where we zoom out to take a general look at the crypto market, top winners and losers, fill out the weather indicators for crypto, and then dive into the top 10, according to market cap minus stablecoins. Today we'll be focusing mostly on the 4-hour, as that's a little bit more relevant to the timeframes we're looking for over the weekend. Coinbase CEO warns that an SEC crackdown may be coming, so rumors are afloat that SEC is starting to target staking coins. As of yet, there's been no official announcement, just rumors flying, and I must say I am not surprised at good old Gary. Turning now to the top gainers and the top losers of the top 100 coins, we see that Singularity Net has just been killing it, even though it has come down quite a bit over the last few days. Next up we have Baby Dogecoin, The Graft, Fetch AI, Immutable X, Neo, Maker, BitDAO, OKB, and Rocket Pool. Those are all up for the week, anywhere from 10% to 134%. Our biggest losers for the week have been Aptos, down 22%, Radex, Phantom, down 16%, Trust Wallet, ICP, Solana, Filecoin, Monero, Decentraland, and Arweave. Now for all my degens out there, turning to the top 300, the biggest movers and shakers were Gifto, Flexcoin, Singularity.net, Baby Dogecoin, Artificial Liquid Intelligence, Blocks, Origin Trail, The Graph, Veracity, and Fetch AI. Top 300 losers for the past week have been Aptos, Mass Network, Radex, Keep Network, SafePal, Phantom, Steppen, Gala, Voyager, and Metis. And the top 10 coins have changed yet again as we lost Shiba Inu, and once again, Polkadot joins the top 10. Kicking our market watch off with the indices, we're looking at the DXY, the dollar, because that heavily affects not only crypto, but also the stock market. Now, currently, the dollar is broken out of a falling wedge pattern, came up here, got rejected at this support line, and now we're kind of making a falling wedge pattern. Now, we see that we did find support here at the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. That could be very promising to give us a breakout of this and come back up to retest this area, hopefully to get rejected. But if this does happen, if we get a breakout out of this falling wedge pattern, we're going to feel it in Bitcoin, and we're going to definitely feel it in the altcoins. What we'd really like to see is for it to come down below the 200 moving average and start moving toward this thickening Ichimoku cloud, which would act as a magnet to pull it down to this level. That would be great for us. So all eyes this weekend on the dollar and how it performs. Next, we take a look at the ES1. This is the S&P 500 E-mini Future. This helps us to gauge how crypto is going to react to the stock market. We're following the big money because the big money is playing with crypto now. So we need to see things through their eyes to get a feel for what they're going to do. Now, originally I had this as a rising wedge pattern, which we broke to the upside, and then we've just been playing with this trend line coming in and out of that, which is not a healthy sign. And when I take this bottom trend line, keeping that angle, copying it, and bringing it up to the top, it identifies a rising channel that we're in. So this is really the pattern that we're following with this touch and that touch, and we also have our 3 touches on the bottom. Wall Street is still kind of indecisive, still trading in this pattern, and as long as they do not break out of this, we're looking pretty good. But it's just been kind of a stale week on Wall Street, and I expect that to continue on into next week. Next up, we take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance, which has been falling from up here, which has really helped our altcoins. You should be seeing the Bitcoin value in your portfolio increasing as the Bitcoin dominance decreases. The good signs that we have is that we broke below this trend line, and we can still come down further. We still have not reached our measure move at 42.8. As we continue down there, you should see some improvements out of your altcoins. Lastly, we'll take a look at the total 2, crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, and we're flirting with breaking this bottom trend line. This is also finding support at the 100 EMA, so more than likely we're getting a bounce there. Now, if we do break to the downside of this, not great. We're coming on down. Altcoins will suffer. Indicators are suggesting that we could just have a wick down and then get a bounce up and come to the upside. Now, that would be beneficial for altcoins. However, just watch this trend line closely. If a candle does open and close below it, we're going to be hurting this weekend. It is worth noting, checking out the daily, we do have a red dot on market cipher indicating a chance for us to actually come down. The MACD is preparing to do a bearish cross, and we do see that the histogram is headed toward the 0 line. Also note that on the RSI, our tops are going down, yet our daily price action continues going up. We also see that here on market cipher, and that is bearish divergence, which we've been experiencing since mid-January. What we do have that's working for us is that money flow is still staying level. VWAP looks like it wants to come to the upside, and our stochastics are trying to flip to the upside. Those are a few things that are working in our favor to keep the total 2 in this pattern. On the daily, it did find support at the 21. That is a great level of support for some more possible upward action. If we do break down from this, I am looking for us to come back and retest this 200 daily EMA. That would not be good in the short run, but a bounce from there would pick us back up to speed. Hopefully we'll see altcoins bounce here, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get a little run this weekend. But some of these indicators are showing signs of tiredness, so trade carefully this weekend. Turning now to Bitcoin on the daily. Bitcoin is looking tired, just like we told you earlier this week when everybody was saying that we're getting ready to go to the moon. I was showing you the warning signs that I was seeing that we're coming down a little bit. Now, how far will we come down? That's yet to be seen. Stochastics on the daily are at the bottom. That's a good sign where we could get a flip up. Money flow is starting to come down a little bit. VWAP is still coming down a little bit on the daily. Biggest thing to point out is that on the daily, we got our bearish cross on the MACD, and we've already dropped below the zero line on the histogram. Not the greatest look for this weekend or next week. And this is the chart that I was showing earlier in the week, how we have this kind of rounded top. Our indicators are coming down, so that just indicates tiredness overall in the market. We could get a catch somewhere around 21,200. Let's take a little closer look. Turning now to our Bitfinex chart, let me just show you what I see overall going on. Overall price action that we have currently with Bitcoin is a rising channel, and we have tested the top of it, and we clearly got rejected. Now, the more immediate pattern that we are in, just taking the angles of touches that we have up here at the top, bringing this line down to the bottom, we could have got a bounce at our support zone of about 22,400. And we're also finding support here at this weekly support level. There is a very real chance that we could catch a bounce here and then start working our way back up to about 24,155, maybe up to the top of this channel at 24,730 in that area. That would be a very good sign. We do have this golden cross on the daily. So while our indicators are looking tired, our moving averages are actually giving us some good signals here. And since we still have money flow on the market cipher, still in the green, even though it is starting to come down a little bit, that might be our saving grace to find an up move this weekend. That's the bullish scenario that I'm looking for. Now, if you see this white line here, you can see that we were in a rising wedge pattern. And if we take a move from that, we can see that we could actually have a breakdown point of that, taking us down to about 21,387. Let's go ahead and mark that. So that's a few things I'm looking for on the daily. Now let's take a little closer look on the 4 hour. The 4 hour is showing us something just a little bit interesting that could be beneficial for us. Now you see the price action is starting to come down, and on market cipher, now we haven't confirmed our bottom point on here, but it is starting to show that we may have a little bit of bullish divergence there, and just the tiniest, slightest bit on the RSI. Now looking at our MACD, we are going flat right now. It's not really a best time to jump in on any kind of trade for Bitcoin until you see exactly which direction that this is going, meaning that we still have a good chance that we could break out of this bottom trend line. Don't want to see that happen, and that measure move would take us down to about 20,500 in that area. Should we break out of that rising channel? So we'll mark that as a possible target, 20,500. So this weekend, we could possibly see price action do something like this, could come back up to retest this area, might get rejected there, may possibly make a inverted head and shoulders pattern, and if that happens, that could be what propels us up to these higher levels. Just a bullish scenario to try to look out for over the weekend. If you see that play out, altcoins are probably doing pretty good. Ethereum on the daily is still looking fairly healthy. It did find support here off the 21 EMA, and if we can just get it back above this 9 EMA of about 1643, we could be looking for some more potential upside, probably about 1681. We are getting our bullish golden cross on the daily for Ethereum, so that is always a welcome sign, and that should create some buying pressure that should push us to the upside. Now, there is a possibility we could come down to this 200 moving average and retest it, and that's about $1,455. Very much like Bitcoin, we can see that the RSI is headed down and price action is headed up. That is some bearish divergence that we've been playing with since January 21st, so that could be something that does eventually propel us down. Money flow is still looking good. We do have a red dot on our market cipher, but we could see several interchanges of green and red dot over the next few days. But as long as money flow is still looking good, and as long as the stochastics are down and getting ready to reset or turn back up, things should look pretty good. Moving to the 4 hour, we can see we got the bounce off the 100 EMA. That's good. Indicators not quite as tired, still showing some signs of tiredness. Take profit area is still on the books at 1838. BNB is still holding up very well, still in this upward channel. Still some slight bearish divergence there. You could also say there is some slight hidden bearish divergence there as well. MACD is headed for the downside. Market cipher, we can see that stochastics have bottomed out. That's a good. Money flow has come down, but it has not crossed the zero mark. It still has room where it could go back. If we see the VWAP head back up, we get a green dot, could be very beneficial for BNB. Hopefully, we will get a bounce here of about 317 and start heading back up to 331, and then we could possibly reach our measured move target of 342. However, if we do get a break to the downside from this rising channel, 68% chance that could happen. Our first target would be about 305 to retest this 200 EMA. If we lose that, we got further downward action, and that measure move would take us down to this area at about $285 for BNB, should we break to the downside. Breaking to the upside, of course, gives us the higher targets that we were talking about earlier in 362, possibly on up to 399, because remember, this overall is in a bigger rising channel. So should prices break down, we do have this target here, but it could also be working its way back down to the bottom of the channel, about 250. 4. Keep that in mind as well. The most positive things I'm seeing is that we are above the 200 EMA on the 4-hour, and most likely we should continue above that. XRP is actually looking a little bit bullish. We broke out of this almost symmetrical type triangle here, came up and flagged. Indicators look fairly decent on the daily, and we do see stochastics are at the bottom. Money flow has just started turning into the green, and that's a good sign. So that's a good sign that we'll get a move to the upside. Now the 4-hour's got some good things going for it. We see our waves are headed up. We see that our RSI is headed slightly up, and our price is coming down. So we do have some hidden bullish divergence there, which gave us a bounce to the upside. We've made it back above this 382 Fibonacci level, and we did get rejected at 40 cents, but there's a good chance that we might have a push to break to the upside of this falling wedge pattern. About 68-70% chance that could happen. Could be a hiccup here at 40.6 cents as we try to overcome this 100 EMA, but a bounce off the 200 is definitely a positive sign for XRP on the short term. So this weekend could turn out to be a very positive weekend for XRP, and we could be looking at 42 cents on up to 43 cents this weekend. I do have a higher target should we get lucky enough and just explode. That would be 46 cents at a 618 Fibonacci level. XRP is looking good. ADA is still struggling. It broke to the downside of this rising channel, so we are headed down. Measure move will take us down to this area just a little bit over 35 cents. Now we've lost our level. It appears that we'll come down to this area about 37 cents, and we may get a bearish retest to come back up to about the 39 cent, 40 cent areas. Bearishly retest that and maybe then come on down to our measured move, which would be about 35.20. We could find a hiccup and possibly find some support around 36.5 cents if we find support at this 200 EMA. That could be what we're looking for. Still, bearish retest could happen. Keep your eyes on that. What we really need to see is for it to break back into this pattern, which would be very bullish, and that would give us a quicker, faster move up to about the 42 cent area. It's going to take a lot of movement and a lot of luck for that to happen. On the daily, we can see that we still have that bearish divergence there. Now, money flow seems to be coming in, so that may be the saving grace to kind of keep us from falling to some lower levels. But MACD on the daily is getting tired for Cardano. May come back down to retest this 100 EMA area of about 32 cents. Definitely a possibility. However, it is very nice to see that we are getting the 50 crossed in the 100, and that may be our saving grace. Dogecoin is still in its parabolic structure, this kind of rounding bottom structure, and as we noted earlier this week, it was flirting with breaking this trend line, which it did. Our measure move from that could have us wick down as far as 7.8 cents. Ideally, I do not want to see it break below this orange line. If it does that, then there's a strong possibility that we could see some lower prices out of Doge over the next few weeks and next few months. What I would like to see is for us to catch support here at this 200 moving average on the 4-hour, maybe come back, and it may be a bearish retest, may come back up to 9.3 cents and then come back down to retest this area of about 8.5 cents. What I'd really like to see is for us to break back above this trend lines, test it as support, and then make higher highs. Right now, all eyes on the 200 EMA on the 4-hour, looking for support here and possibly as low as 8.5 cents. Now, MATIC has done what we hoped that it would do. Indicators are still looking strong even on the daily. On Market Cipher, money flow is headed to the upside. VWAP is holding steady. Also have the green dot, which is holding very strong there, and the stochastics are starting to work their way up just a little bit. Out of all the coins we looked at, MATIC is looking the strongest. We can get a better look on the 4-hour to see what's happened here, and it's done exactly what we were hoping that it would do, which is to break to the upside of this bearish pattern, which was a rising wedge. So congratulations all you guys who are in MATIC, because you're doing very well, and we have the potential for some parabolic action to come of this. When price breaks to the upside of a bearish pattern, a rising wedge or a rising channel, we often get some quick, heavy moves to the upside. So hitting $1.45, $1.53, even $1.65 this weekend are all on the table for MATIC. Now we may stumble around here, but as long as we do not break back into this channel, we have an excellent opportunity for some upside. However, if we do break back into this channel, expect us to fall back to the downside, which may be about $1.09. Taking a look at OKB, thought it was going to do a MATIC and pop up and start going parabolic, but now it's broken back into this channel. That's a little disconcerting. This move may be slowing down. So I expect OKB to come back and retest $41, possibly down to the bottom of this trend line of about $40.17. Now, if we break down there from further, we'll have to test this 200 EMA that's going to be coming up, and that'll be about 37 cents, possibly bringing us down to 33 cents. And I really don't want to see it break below $34. If we break this orange line, which is a parabolic structure, this very impressive move that we've been looking at could be over. Actually, I would probably consider it over as soon as we break below $40. Possible targets could be $25, $29, $33, and where we are right now, retesting this Fibonacci area of about 41. Let's hope for a bounce there. If not, lower targets will be in play. Solana just could not do it. It could not break to the upside of this ascending triangle. We broke to the downside, pounded on the 618 as many times as we could, and just could not get it. Currently retesting the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. Now, if we find support there, we could be coming up to about 2463, and that very well could be a bearish retest, meaning that we will break through that 200 and come on down to this area of about $17.15, which is our measure move for the breakdown of this ascending triangle. Breaking below that 200 might be a good area to short. Like our other altcoins, DOT has that bearish divergence that is making our indicators feel a little bit tired. It has still beautifully maintained this rising channel. Just tightening up my trend lines to the candle bodies there. DOT came down and found support at $6.45, currently under the 618, so we are struggling with this level here. As long as we don't break this trend line, and that could happen because a rising broadening wedge, or a megaphone pattern as we call it, a bearish pattern, and we could come down first to test these areas about 614. But should we lose this level, we could be looking at DOT as low as 550 if this bottom trend line does not hold. However, currently we found support there, and we could be moving back up to these targets of about $7.13, even on up to about $7.49. Those would be the targets to watch out for this weekend. If you found this information helpful, please hit that like button. The weekends can often be crazy with some low volatility, allowing some whales and some big players to move the market a lot more easier on the weekends than during the week. Hopefully we're starting to see a little bit more bullish activity on the weekend than bearish activity. We'll just have to take it day by day to see what the weekend holds. My name is Lane, and you've been watching Crypto Insight.
Good afternoon, everyone. Captain Lane speaking, and wishing you a safe travels to your crypto destination. For those of you traveling with mice, please securely position your cursor over the like button below and right-click with your favorite finger. For those with touchscreen devices, we ask that you gently press the thumbs up near the bottom of your screen. Thank you for choosing Road Dog Crypto. Please trade wisely and enjoy the rest of your video.
Is that a UFO?